Right now, as you are here, the base of your body is carrying a weight that doesn't match today. It might be a constant compression in the lower spine, hips that never fully yield, or that diffuse sense of carrying something too dense to name. The sacrum has lost its ability to twist, and what should be living support has turned into fixed containment. Before any movement, you need to register how this weight is distributed right now, where it presses, how it organizes itself, what temperature it carries. Without this internal record, there will be no contrast later. Anyone who leaves this video now loses the chance to notice a measurable change happening in their own structure, something the body already knows how to do but forgot how to allow. Let's map the base first. Bring your attention to the lumbosacral region, where the spine meets the pelvis. What do you notice there? Is the weight centralized, as if something were pressing from top to bottom? Is there density, a sense of concentrated mass? Notice whether this area feels fixed and immobile, or if there is still some subtle movement when you breathe. Don't try to change anything, just notice what is present. Now expand your perception to the hips. Feel whether they yield or maintain constant containment, as if holding something that cannot be released. Notice if there is a difference between the right hip and the left, one more rigid, the other with more space. Let your attention travel down to the legs. Do they feel connected to the base or disconnected, as if the energy doesn't fully descend to the ground? Return to the sacrum, that triangular bone at the base of the spine. Try to sense whether it feels long or if it seems shortened, compressed between the surrounding structures. Is there warmth there or coolness? Do you feel a subtle bodily fear of allowing this area to relax, as if yielding meant losing support? Take an internal snapshot of this lack of space, this state of a short, fixed base. This record is stored now. You have mapped where the weight concentrates, where mobility disappeared, and where the body chose to support instead of discharge. This snapshot will be the reference for what comes next, because transformation only becomes real when there is measurable contrast. The body is ready to receive the intervention. This compression you just mapped at the base, this fixed sacrum without twist, often travels alongside traumatic patterns installed in other regions of the body. A pelvis that doesn't release, a diaphragm that holds, a throat that doesn't emit. I prepared a guide with great care and gave it the name Healing in Motion, 22 somatic cycles to release trauma, restore flow, and create again. This material works exactly with these interconnected layers, showing how freeing the base restores movement along the entire axis. The link is in the first pinned comment. I believe it will add real value to your day-to-day life, and it's worth taking a look later. Now let's apply the twist that decompresses what you are carrying. Lie on your back, knees bent, feet resting on the floor at hip width. Let your arms rest alongside the body, palms facing down. Allow the lower back to make contact with the floor, without forcing it flat or holding an exaggerated curve. Just let it settle. The body is about to receive a gentle twist, a gesture that gives the sacrum back the right to move without threat. Begin by letting the right knee fall softly inward toward the left knee, as if something were pulling it by an invisible thread. Don't force the full rotation, just allow the right hip to begin twisting, bringing the sacrum along with it. The pelvis rotates slightly, the weight redistributes, and you begin to feel a subtle stretch in the right lower back and the opposite hip. Hold this small twist for a few breathing cycles, observing where the tension begins to give way. Maybe the right hip softens, maybe the base of the spine finds more internal space, or maybe there is simply less centralized pressure. If the movement feels stuck, reduce the range. Sacral twisting doesn't need to be deep to be effective. It needs to be safe enough for the nervous system to allow it. Bring the knee back to center and repeat on the left side. The left knee falls inward, the left hip twists, and the sacrum follows the gentle rotation. Notice if this side responds differently, perhaps more rigid, perhaps more fluid. Don't compare or judge, just register how each side carries its own history of containment. Maintain the left side twist for as long as needed for something to begin reorganizing. You might feel warmth in the sacral region, a deep softening in the pelvis, or simply the sense that the base is starting to lengthen as if recovering lost space. Let the breath descend into the pelvis without forcing. It simply follows the internal movement that is already happening. Return to center and rest for a few moments, feet still grounded, knees pointing upward. This is where a turning point often occurs, a spontaneous sigh, a subtle tremor in the legs, an unexpected yawn, or tears that arise without warning. All of these responses signal that the nervous system is discharging something old. If none of this appears, that's fine. Release happens in different ways. Repeat the sequence once more on each side, allowing the twist to deepen only if the body authorizes it. Don't force entry where resistance still exists. With each repetition, notice whether the sacrum gains more mobility, whether the hips yield with less fear, whether the base feels less compressed. The movement becomes more fluid because the trauma is finding a way out. Finish by returning to center, legs extended if that feels comfortable, or knees bent if the lower back asks for support. Let the body complete the process without interruption. There may be subtle adjustments, involuntary micro-movements, delayed sighs. Don't get up yet. The base has just been given permission to release the burden it was holding, and this process needs a few moments to settle before you check what has changed. Return your attention to the lumbosacral region without making any additional movement, simply observing what is present. The weight you mapped earlier, does it still press with the same intensity, or has something redistributed? Is there the same centralized density, or has the sacrum found more space between the structures? Don't look for change, just notice what exists there now, after the twist. Expand your attention to the hips. How do they respond when you visit them again? Is there more yielding, more subtle mobility, or does the containment feel identical? Move down into the legs. Has the connection with the ground changed? Does the weight descend more easily, or does it still stay held at the base? Notice whether that bodily fear of yielding has softened, whether the body trusts more in the possibility of relaxing without collapsing. Return to the sacrum, that specific point you internally photographed before the practice. Compare the image from before with what you find now. Is there more length along this axis, as if the base had stretched? Perhaps warmth appears where there was coolness, lightness where there was pressure, or simply more internal quiet where there was constant tension. Whatever the difference is, it belongs to you, discovered within your own organism, not suggested from the outside. The contrast you perceive between the initial state and this moment is living proof that something reorganized. The body taught through direct experience. When the sacrum regains the right to twist, the burden begins to descend. What changed here wasn't promised and then delivered. It was mapped, worked through, and verified inside your own structure. Transformation happened because you allowed it. This change you notice reveals a direct principle. When the sacrum regains mobility, weight finds a path to the ground. To recognize when to return to this state or when mobility has been lost again, use a physical marker. Lumbosacral compression and fixed hips mean the body has returned to containment. Length through the sacrum and a yielding pelvis indicate that discharge is active. The signal gesture is simple. Lie down, let one knee fall gently inward, hold for 3 breaths, switch sides. Repeat whenever you need to reconnect the base to the ground. When you notice the compression has returned, you already have the full map. A brief scan to locate where the weight concentrates, 3 minutes of sacral twisting alternating sides, and a verification scan to register what changed. This protocol fits into any moment of the day, before sleep, upon waking, or whenever the body signals that it has returned to supporting what it shouldn't. The video becomes a long-term tool because it teaches the body how to decompress on its own. Having direct access to this decompression means the burden no longer needs to be carried as a permanent condition. If this content created real change in your body, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to receive weekly somatic practices. The ebook Healing in Motion deepens these discharge cycles by working with other regions where trauma settles. The link is in the first pinned comment. Now I suggest you write this sentence in the comments: I lengthen my base and release the burden that doesn't belong to me. This simple act helps the body register the transformation more deeply, giving the change greater permanence. There's another video waiting for you on the screen. Click and watch. The base you decompressed carries the entire temple. When the sacrum regains its ability to twist, trauma stops being supported and begins to be released, because the inner ground finally opens to receive what should never have been held inside the structure.